I was so tired. I was so tired that when he stood up, I was trying to put him down, but kumbe he stood up, but I was just sitting next to the bed like this, and then he fell because the bed was low, and I felt so guilty. I remember I cried. It was like 1 a.m. and he screamed and he fell like head down, and I was like, hey, this can't go on. This is very dangerous for both me and him. We can't be this sleep deprived to a point I am not present. That was my turning point, and I was like, I have to work on sleep training. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In case you're new here, remember to subscribe. So today we are going to talk about sleep training, something I never knew I would do, never knew I would need, but something that has saved our life and changed our lives completely. So here is why and how we did it. So my son was born October last year, and I was very keen on introducing him to a very good routine. If you go to Google, it says, yeah, introduce a nice bedtime routine, and I did that. I was able to do a few tips, sleep training tips here and there for newborns, where you help them differentiate between day and night, where you let them sleep during the day where there's noise, and then nighttime you make it quiet, where you do a routine consistently, like at the same time every day around the same time. You do a winding down routine, and even at night when they wake up to breastfeed, you keep it very low. You don't put the lights on, use dim lights and everything. So I did all that. It worked out perfectly because he used to sleep very well. My routine was just bathe him, massage him, breastfeed, and then hold him with lullabies on for a while. And then when he gets drowsy, I'll try to put him down. But sometimes, to be honest, the line between drowsy but awake, drowsy sleep, it's very thin. So sometimes definitely I'll put him down and he's asleep already. So this went on very well for the first, I'd say 6 months. For the first 6 months, it was very nice, so very solid. We slept at around 7:38. We had night feedings, but he would settle back easily. And I remember even at the 2-month mark, there's a time he pulled like a 6-8 hour stretch, and I was like, wow, I've nailed it. It's working out as per the book. And it went all really well until month 6. I don't know what happens. There's a lot of growth between the 6th month and the 12th month that happens to children. So he's now crawling, he's introduced to solids. There's so many things. Their wake windows gets even larger. You should read about wake windows, like how long a child of a particular age should stay awake before they wind down. Like naps are so important. So his wake window went up. Then we had a change in nanny. We had a lot of things in the 6th month, and that's when our sleep started going downhill. I remember one notable change. If you've not watched the nanny's video, you should watch it. Is that the nanny I had at that time never used to put him down to nap. So when I would tell my nannies, this is how he's used to sleeping. You know, children form a way of sleeping. Some breastfeed to sleep, some are rocked to sleep, some are put on the gongo to sleep. Like children just have association. So his was, you hold him, put him like on the rocking chair, put lullabies, and he would know this is time for me to sleep, and he would settle. So I had even taught this nanny, like, do this and this, he will settle. So unfortunately, she didn't see the need for kids to nap. There are those people who just don't think kids should nap so that at night they sleep well, and that's a big lie. Your kid should really nap. Naps are very important even for brain development. So he started not napping. You'd find like the whole day a 6-month-old has not napped, or napped for 40 minutes, and he's so tired. I come back from work, he's now tired to even eat. So it was such a struggle, and now it just became worse and worse because the night wakings became more, and it was very unsettling. Oh my god, he started waking up every 2 hours, and it was driving me crazy. By the time I was 7 months, by the time we were 7 months, I was super tired. I think I even ended up being a little bit depressed because I was sleep deprived. I remember when I went for therapy, my number one issue was lack of sleep, and we had to devise ways how do we make this better, how do you make this better for you, because insomnia also comes up after a person has been sleep deprived for so long. So I was even having insomnia on days that he was sleeping fairly well. So the 8th month regression came, and it was just a mess. My son was not napping as usual. Sometimes he'd nap well, by the way, but at night he had like every 2 hours waking up, and you'd find he's not waking up because he's hungry, because now we used to bottle feed to sleep, not actually breastfeed. So you find that he was waking up every 2 hours, and I was super tired. 2 hours is a long time, it's tiring, and all he wanted is just to be held, and then you put him back. And then I actually moved him from his baby cot to a bigger bed at around month 7, because I figured he needed space. Sometimes he'd wake up and be so frustrated he can't turn. So I figured, he probably needs space. I made him a bigger bed, but it was unfortunately too low. And I remember one night, because he was now waking up 2 hours, 3 hours, I was so tired. I was so tired that when he stood up, I was trying to put him down, but kumbe he stood up, but I was just sitting next to the bed like this, and then he fell because the bed was low, and I felt so guilty. I remember I cried. It was like 1 a.m. and he screamed, and he fell like head down, and I was like, hey, this can't go on. This is very dangerous for both me and him. We can't be this sleep deprived to a point I am not present. That was my turning point, and I was like, I have to work on sleep training. So I have to say that I had tried sleep training before, but when he cried like this, I gave up. So now this time I was like, I think I need the help of a professional to sleep train my child, because I need that assurance that I'm doing the right thing. I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing. So this is when I contacted a baby whisperer. Before that, we had even worked with someone else to implement a schedule, a good sleep schedule, bearing in mind their wake windows, and his sleep improved, but it just went back. You can do all you want, implement a schedule, but as long as your baby is not sleeping independently, and I mean putting themselves to sleep, like they can see themselves awake in their bed and falling asleep in the bed as opposed to your hands, then the baby keeps waking up because they're not used to sleeping on the bed. They are used to, how do you return me to sleep? You hold me. So that cycle was very unhealthy for me, and I decided to contact a professional sleep trainer. I think her IG handle, we'll put it somewhere, it's at Baby Whisperer KE. So I had done my research, I had seen her reviews, and I decided, let me take a leap of faith. Even though it's expensive, I know I cannot put a price to the amount of sleep that I need. So I contacted her, and when we started, she did an assessment. So we did a daily log of how we're just doing our things. What time is he waking up? What time is eating? What time is sleeping? What time he woke up? Like, she did a 48-hour, 24-hour assessment, and then she sent us a sleep plan to implement. Now, the good thing is that she follows through with you the implementation. So she formulated for us a better schedule, well, bearing in mind his wake windows. What I really learned is his wake window was around 2 hours 45 minutes at the age. We sleep trained at exactly 10 months. That's when I decided now I'm ready. So his wake window was around 2 hours 45 minutes or 3 hours. So you put him to bed like 15 minutes before the lapse of that wake window, so that they are not overtired. Another term that you should learn, overtired babies don't settle well. So the first day of sleep training, the plan was to sit next to him, next to the bed, and just be present. But I put him in bed, and then I sit, and then I wait for him to fall asleep. And it was hard. It was so hard. Okay, it was not so hard because I had done my research. I had seen another video where a lady had done it. But anytime he stands up, you put him back down. Anytime he stands up, you put him back down. And I did this for 1 hour. Ronnie took 1 hour to finally sleep. He was, at first he was like, this is a game. So he'd stand up. Sleep training a walking baby is harder. If you can do it early, good for you. So he'd stand, I try put him down, and then I sit. And then you can't be engaging with your child at that time, because they need to know it's time for them to wind down. So you're basically like there, but you just like not interactive at all. Or I would do it's okay, just go to sleep. So he stand up, I put him down, stand up, put him down, until 1 hour, when he finally gave in, and he just rolled. He was crying at the end, and then he slept, and that went perfect. I was like, we've done it. But the second nap, he refused totally for 1 hour. We tried, and that's when I learned, if you don't manage to do it within 1 hour, it's okay to take a break. So we would take a break, and then we'd open the curtains again and start the day as if the activities were on. So either we do a snack or take a walk, and then we try again later, because you can't force sleep. If a baby is not sleepy, you can't force sleep. So when we came back and did it later, he actually slept that day. And at night, it wasn't that much of a hassle. So we did this for around 5 days. And by us, I mean myself and, my current nanny. It's very good for all the caregivers to be involved in the process, so that the child does not associate only one person with bedtime or sleep. What if they're left with their dad? What will they do? So everyone has to participate. So we did that for 5 days, where we just sit next to his bed. Then another, I think, 3-4 days, we moved the chair from next to the bed to the middle of the room. So he protested that change. With every change, he actually cried a bit. But you're like, you're here, you're in the room, it's okay. You assure him, and then put him back. But finally, by day 2 of sitting in the middle of the room, he was now used to it. Then after 4 days of sitting in the middle of the room, we moved the chair next to the door, and would sit there, and we'd do the same thing. You just put him down when you need to. Now, because he had learned to also put himself back down. So once you put him down, you just wait for him to settle, and he would settle. Now he was taking even a shorter time. What I really loved about the process is that I learned the science of sleep, that babies actually can sleep through the night, because by day 5, he was sleeping from around 7 to even 6:30. He was sleeping a minimum of 10 hours before he woke up. As compared to the first days, he'd sleep from 6:30, he'd sleep until midnight, and then he'd wake up, but not because he's hungry. So we'd give him water, then he goes back to sleep. So anytime we made the changes, move further and further away, he also protested a bit, but then by the second day, he was settled. So we just sit next to the door, and then he would settle himself. No matter how long it takes, you continue to wait for him to settle, because even a normal person takes 5 to 25 minutes actually to fall asleep, unless you're the father of the child. Those ones, they just black out. Yeah. So we did that for around 2 weeks, 2.5, actually 3 weeks there. We were still, 2.5 weeks we were in the room. Then came the time to now move out of the room. The logic behind it is that you're also detaching, that your baby should not only attach sleep with your presence. That means they'll need it every time they wake up in the middle of the night. And waking up at night is normal. Even adults wake up at night, but we know how to return yourself to sleep. You'll be like, it's just 3 a.m. Let me go back to sleep. So it's normal. It's just that when the kids don't know how to take themselves back to sleep and they rely on you, then you will constantly have to do it. So now we were out of the room. I remember I was so nervous because I didn't know how he'd take it. So we put him down, close the curtains if it's nap time. If it's bedtime, you just assure him, and then I put him down, and then I stand outside the room, and then I wait. The first day he actually didn't cry, and I was so shocked because he had now learned, I'm tired, I just need to fall asleep. And the second day, I think I remember I did a nap, and he really protested. That one he cried for a long time, 40 minutes and I did one check-in at the 20-minute mark. That one broke my heart. But I also learned that if they are not used to you doing it, like he was so used to the nanny doing the naps because I'm at work, they'll also protest. They'll feel some kind of way, hey, we don't do this with you, come back to the room and everything. But you have to follow the rules. Different people follow the rules. Even when the dad did it the first time, he protested, but the second time he didn't, because he learned the rules are the same. It's not only playtime with this guy. So we did sleep training in that method, where we were physically present in the room, and then we gradually now detach from the room to outside. Now we just place him, we tell him good night and it's going to be okay, and then we leave the room and he settles. Sometimes he'll take 1 minute, he might cry, depending on who it is. He's too attached, so sometimes he cries like for a minute, then settles. Sometimes he doesn't cry, and it's going on so well. I can't believe my son sleeps through the night. If he wakes up, maybe because he didn't eat well, that's when we will feed him milk. But if he wakes up like too early, which he rarely does, I can literally count maybe one incident where we had a teething incident. And I remember what has really helped with even teething is just using the Ashton that we use. And on the days that he has mild major discomfort, we add Panadol before bed and before maybe one of the naps, so that he can settle well. So it's been really amazing to sleep again. It's been really amazing. Like, I really thank God for Baby Whisperer, for her guidance, and I hope through this video you've actually learned why and how we did it. If you check online, maybe you see the chair method, and then now we gradually went to the Faber method, but not with the 3-minute check-in time. We would check in like at 10-minute mark and everything, because now we had gradually detached. So I hope through this video you've actually understood why and how we did it. Another thing that I really stumbled upon is I was giving so many excuses why I'm not sleep training. Oh, he's teething. Oh, he's just going through a growth spurt. Oh, it's just a regression. And I've learned my child can actually sleep through teething, because I had read an article that if you wait for the teething process to be over so that you sleep trained, that means you will not sleep for 2 years, because they just teeth. So I've actually learned that my son can actually sleep through teething with various way of managing him. But the real thing is sleep associations. Once they learn how to put themselves to bed without your help, then it's going to be a very good long-term plan, other than just giving excuses like I used to do. That was my major takeaway home, that they need to put themselves to sleep. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're struggling with sleep, maybe you can try to do it yourself through research, or you can try and contact a professional to help you like I did. But I really, really feel so good when another mom tells me that they slept well because they sleep trained. And if you're also curious to see how I documented my sleep training journey on Instagram. There's a highlight sleep training. You will see how the days went, and I used to update what time he slept, how he slept, until what time he woke up. So if you're interested in that, remember to follow me on Instagram at just Margie. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot from it, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.